Israel needed a revival. She had fallen from her former glory. Israel's exodus from Egypt and conquest of Canaan had become a far-off memory. Young Israel had been like a tender grapevine that God planted in a fertile garden. God's vineyard grew into a world power, strong and rich materially and spiritually. But the stone wall protecting the vineyard had crumbled. Sadness, fear, and shame had replaced joy, confidence, and honor. Why? Because God was angry with his people's insincere prayers. Psalm 80, verse 4. Israel's religious formality lacked heart, soul, and mind devotion. She had turned back from following God. The action of turning is crucial in Psalm 80. The same Hebrew word is translated restore in verses 3, 7, and 19, turn again, verse 14, and turn back, verse 18. It describes how the people have turned back from God, how God must return to their care and turn around their fortunes. If that didn't happen, the people would perish. This is a psalm for us too. We lack God's blessing because we wander like lost sheep. So we too should cry out with verses 1 and 2 of Psalm 80, "Give ear, O shepherd of Israel, stir up your might and come to save us." And he will. But the question for Israel in the days of Psalm 80 was, where is the next prophet like Moses, the high priest greater than Aaron, the king wiser and more powerful than Solomon? Israel's sole hope in the days of Psalm 80 was for God himself to come. In Jesus, God came to restore Israel. The writer's prayer of blessing on God's Son in verses 14 and 17 is partly about the nation. The nation of Israel was God's son. But the words have a deeper meaning, as Matthew 2, verse 15 makes plain, referring to Jesus, the prophecy of Hosea 11, verse 1, "Out of Egypt I have brought my son." Jesus is the man of God at his right hand, as verse 17 says, the Son who rules with God. Jesus is the true vine, fulfilling that reference to the vineyard that was Israel. One writer put it this way: what Israel had only begun to be, Jesus wholly was and is. We too are looking for Jesus coming. God's restoration has begun, but it has not been perfected. We long for Jesus to come again to completely protect the church from the boar of the forest that ravages it, verse 13. As those who have turned back from following God, we should pray that God would restore us, that his kind face would shine on us, and we must strive to live so that Jesus' second advent would be for us the end of tears and the perfection of joyful salvation. Here, Psalm 80. To the choir master, according to Lilies, a testimony of Asaph, a psalm. Give ear, O shepherd of Israel, you who lead Joseph like a flock, you who are enthroned upon the cherubim, shine forth. Before Ephraim and Benjamin and Manasseh, stir up your might and come to save us. Restore us, O God. Let your face shine that we may be saved. O Lord God of hosts, how long will you be angry with your people's prayers? You have fed them with the bread of tears and given them tears to drink in full measure. You make us an object of contention for our neighbors, and our enemies laugh among themselves. Restore us, O God of hosts. Let your face shine that we may be saved. You brought a vine out of Egypt. You drove out nations and planted it. You cleared the ground for it. It took deep root and filled the land. The mountains were covered with its shade, the mighty cedars with its branches. It sent out branches to the sea and its shoots to the river. Why then have you broken down its walls, so that all who pass along the way pluck its fruit? The boar from the forest ravages it, and all that move in the field feed on it. Turn again, O God of hosts. Look down from heaven and see. Have regard for this vine, the stock that your right hand planted, and for the son whom you made strong for yourself. They have burned it with fire. They've cut it down. May they perish at the rebuke of your face. But let your hand be on the man of your right hand, the Son of Man whom you have made strong for yourself. Then we shall not turn back from you. Give us life, and we will call upon your name. Restore us, O Lord God of hosts. Let your face shine, that we may be saved.